I will be farming the shit out of it. Yo, what's up guys, Minto here. I am so excited, I have no words. When the patch notes dropped today, I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe what I was reading, and I read that for like 3 or 4 times in a row to make sure that I actually understand what's it all about. Now, I am going to read you the paragraph in the patch notes that got me so excited. When the game initially released back in 2007, Book 8 version, crafting the best endgame items required rare trophies from specific mobs. Acquiring these trophies was much more difficult than with the current shard system. While we can't fully revert to the old system, we are replicating the rarity of beryl shards by adjusting their supply. As a result, beryl shards droppers will now be a lot more difficult to find. The chance of encountering these rares will increase as we approach the B11 phase. So why am I so excited about this change? For all those who have not played in 2007 during the original Shadows of Angmar phase, let me just tell you this. So on the highest crafting tier, if you wanted to craft specific items, you needed specific rare mobs to find, kill, and loot that rare ingredient. And that is true for each individual piece of gear. As you can imagine, they were actually rare. If you didn't know how they work, where they spawn and stuff like that, you just literally didn't have any chance at all. I personally loved this kind of system back then. This game was my first MMO, and once I figured out how that system actually worked, I was blown away. That was like the best thing ever in any game I have played before. So I was like, oh my god, what the hell is this, you know? Now we know how it works, let's go! I'm recording this video especially for those guys who were not around back then and have no clue how it works and what they can expect. And if you like farming and you love crafting, you will have tons of fun if you kind of know how the system works. So anyway, let me just dive right into it, and I'm gonna show you, give you some examples how the system worked, and maybe we will be even lucky and we will encounter a rare mob that I can show you. And if not, well, when the game is gonna get released, I will be farming the shit out of it, bros. Let me just dive right into it. As you can see, we are in Godoflad, and yeah, don't crucify me, I know it's the retail version, but even if I had access to Echoes of Angmar right now, I would still prefer the retail version to showcase you, because at least now I won't get attacked trying to show you something, okay? There was a rare fireworm. I think his name was Gnashmore or something, right? Now, how did it really work? This guy had 3 spawn points, right? So if he spawned here, he was always roaming. He would never stand still. He just walked up here, turned around over here somewhere, like a little east over here, and then turned around and stuff like that, right? So every time he spawned over here, he was roaming. The second spawn actually was down here where the campfire is, right? I think back then there was no campfire. So what I did was I actually used this little thing over here. You see this ledge? Because if you go here, you won't drop down. You see this? It's a little trick. So what I could do is, because back then we didn't have like the best hardware, so, you know, like I wanted to see as far as possible. So I discovered this little trick here. So I could track this location, and at the same time, I still could track this location. Well, this was actually the easiest part, because when he spawned over here, he was stationary. And that's also a special thing about those rares. So this was like his permanent roaming area. Let me just put it like that. And this was his stationary area. But there was a third spawn, and I'm going to show you that as well. And the third one was actually over here. And this was not a stationary one. This was also a roaming one. So he spawned over here and then moved up this way. With that knowledge in mind, what you need to do, you need to check them for the placeholder, because if there is the rare immediately, you will see it anyway, right? But you will need to spot the placeholders. So unfortunately, this is right now the retail version. So the only worm that was actually spawning here was the placeholder, because all the other mobs, as you can see, are like wolves and stuff like that. But this guy was actually a worm, and down there we even have goblins. So he was out of place. The placeholder has the exact same behavior like the rare spawn. So if the placeholder spawns instead of the rare, he will also roam. So we need to check this area first to see if the spawn, the placeholder is running around here somewhere. And if not, if he's not there, then we're gonna go here and check if he's maybe spawned down there. And if he spawned down there, he's gonna be stationary anyway. Now, a very crucial information. How does the spawn really work? If there is no one in the area, there cannot be even a spawn. So someone has to trigger the area into the memory. So what that means is this, guys. If there's no one in this area, there will be no spawn. But what happens if actually somebody entered the area not knowing about the rare? He just wrote this way for whatever reasons now. He triggered the area now. So now there is a chance that there is going to be either the placeholder or the rare spawn. Now the area is loaded into the memory. I of course don't know the exact technical details, but I think the area will be in the memory for like a couple minutes, maybe 5 minutes. And let's say now, coincidentally, you also come into this area. Let's say the other guy rode this way and he triggered the spawn over here. And now you're running this way and checking, there's nothing here. Okay. Oh, he's also not stationary. Okay. But meanwhile, the mob is already moving this way and I kind of know his path. I think when he's moving up here, he goes this path up here. And you only know about this spawn point, the spawn point down here, and the spawn point over here. Now you are gonna check those three and you will go like, he's not here. But he is here. Another player triggered him and he already went up here while you were looking for the other spawn points. So that's why this information is so crucial. So what you need to do is not just check the possible spawn positions. You also have to check where he is actually roaming if he was already spawned. So he could be roaming around here. So you also need to check that. If he spawned and he moved up here, he's kind of in a limbo. He's kind of not moving anymore because there's no players nearby. So he's kind of in a limbo mode. He could even despawn after a while. And you are down here though and waiting for any spawn. You will go like, why is the placeholders not spawning? Yeah, the placeholders can't spawn because the actual mob is roaming over here. Now let's go and check where he is naturally roaming. Trigger this area and now he starts moving again. If you are lucky. If you are unlucky, he despawned out of the memory and that's it. I actually found a website dated May 18, 2007, guys. Rare crafting ingredients and single-use recipes. I think we call them now like one-shot recipes or something. I'm just gonna go briefly over it because I'm gonna tell you a story. Look at this here. This is a rare spider in Angmar called ACHATHLING. Notes: spider den northeast of Himbar in East Angmar. So this is like a month after the release. I was looking for this guy because I had the recipe and I think you needed ACHATHLING to craft your teal chest piece, one of the best chest pieces in the game. And in the recipe it said you need ACHATHLING's mandible. Now, I was reading the additional information. Is this guy a roaming type? It says yes. I was like, all right, let's go. Let's try. Guys, to make it short, believe it or not, it took me 2 months. I am not kidding. And I'm going to tell you the story why. And I'm going to show you where I looked for this guy according to the websites from May 2007. So it says east of Himbar around the spider den. And there's only one spider den here. So I was like, of course, makes sense because look at this. There's so many spiders here. And the website says it's a roaming type. What did we learn? That also the placeholder is roaming. This guy is not roaming. This guy cannot be the placeholder. It's impossible. And at the same time, guys, I'm in the advice channel. I'm trying to figure out where she spawns. And then I got the information. I saw her behind the tent. There is only one tent close to the spider den. It's this one. And this guy said behind the tent. And I was like, of course he means this area. I could already imagine, you know, like look at this. It looks like kind of a spawn point of a big spider, right? So what did I do? I killed these spiders for hours. Nothing happened. I tried to kill all the spiders here and look at this. This guy is even lurking. Damn, I found it. This guy must be the placeholder. What did I do? Kill all these for days and days. Nothing happened. And it's not easy. I'm a guardian. I don't deal that much damage. I have like maybe good survivability, but that's it, right? So we had a group though. One day I was here with my captain because I needed help. I couldn't do it all by myself. And we tried to kill everything. And I was like, okay, this must be it. This must be the placeholder. Even now, 18 years later, this guy is still moving around. Still didn't spawn. I was almost about to give up, right? I was like, bro, this can't be real, right? Why is ACHATHLING not spawning? One day, we killed everything, God knows for how many times, and my captain friend ported out. He was like, man, it's getting late, you know, like maybe we're gonna continue tomorrow. He's like, yeah, we're gonna continue tomorrow. So he ported out, and I was all alone here in the spider den with all those level 49, 50 spiders. And at the same time, guys, always hoping if the spider spawns, that there's not gonna be any group here because there's no tagging. Anyone attacking that spider first will get the ingredient. And guys, you won't believe what happened. And I couldn't believe my eyes. ACHATHLING was walking down here for the first time ever. I saw her with my own eyes. There's no way I can defeat the rare mob and also like maybe I will get attacked by like 2 of these or something at the same time. There's no way. And then I quickly typed, bro, you have to come back. I got her, because there's no way I can survive that, especially because there's so many other spiders around here. But on the other hand, I knew if I let her go, there's a high chance that someone else and maybe a group, and they will kill the spider. And I was like, bro, please come here as fast as possible. Then he told me, I'm in Gabel Shatur. I'm riding right now to you. Oh my, do you know where Gabel Shatur is, bro? I'm here. I am up here. Gabel Shatur is down here. So that's like easily 4 to 5 minutes. At one point, I decided to attack the spider because there was no other way. I started to attack the spider, so I tried to fight her around here because I knew there is no spawn here, and I tried to stay alive as long as possible, and my friend actually made it in time. When he arrived, we had like 3 or 4 or something more on our ass. We did it, we looted it. If you loot it in a group, you have to roll for it. So the chances were high that my friend will get the ingredient, but I got the ingredient. I was so lucky. Then I went back to Thorin's Hall, attempted my crit craft, and I actually critted. And I saw here in the window that like a blue item popped up. It took me almost 3 seconds or 4 seconds to actually realize what was going on, because it was my first teal craft and it critted. And on my screen, like a search box, I could enter something. And I was like, huh, what is this now? I never saw that before. Reading it, and it said like something like sign your item. And then I signed it. I can't remember what I typed. And I went over my item and there was my name, bro. Like, I don't know if I have, oh, here, crafted by Findun. And it was crafted by Mentor. I actually farmed the spider. I found the spider. I killed it. I looted it. I crafted and I crit. Now I have the armor. And believe it or not, bros, after that, I was addicted to the system. And everybody who was inspecting me was like, oh my God, you actually crafted your chest piece by yourself? Because my name is on it. And I was like, yeah. That's how my crafting career on the server started, and I was doing this for 6 to 8 months in a row because it was so much fun. Gonna tell you something here, a little secret that you might not know, especially when you're a new player. Why was the risk so high that a group will be here? Not what you think, but because of the secret passage. Now I'm gonna show you the secret passage, which a lot of players don't know actually leads to Carn. So a lot of players back then that knew about the secret passage took that road because it's so much easier and not as dangerous as the other one. I knew that, and I was like, oh my God, please not. And if there's a group now going to Carn, they will kill the spider. What also happens here in the secret path, though, is something else. There is actually a spawn for ACHATHLING, which I didn't know back then. Maybe we're gonna be lucky and she'll be here. There is actually 2 spawns here. She can spawn actually here and move up here, or she can spawn here and be like kind of stationary, or she can spawn, oh guys, I don't have words for this. There she is. You see, and I didn't know about that. So that's why we farmed for weeks and months, maybe at the wrong places, right? But there she is. That's the proof. And this is the secret path which leads to this gate, which leads to Carn. To this day, I have no idea which one of those spiders are actually the placeholder. A lot of people to this day claim that ACHATHLING is one of those very, very few rare mobs that even don't have placeholder system. So I could never confirm it. The only thing later I learned were all the spawn points that she has. And then I was just running and checking the spawn points, and that's it. So guys, if you have any questions regarding this system, write them in the comments and I will try to help you. And also those 2 little websites that I showed you, I will link them in the description. And also we're going to have a kinship ready for the launch. So if you're a new player or you just want to kind of refresh your memory looking for other players, why not join my Discord? We already have like 30 something players and we're going to group up together, run the dungeons, run the raids together, craft of course, right? And share the experience all together. So if you're looking for a home, you're very, very welcome to join my Discord. So thank you very much for watching and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, goodbye.